Am I the asshole for not making my daughter apologize to the woman who spoke to her like a baby? I have a daughter, Katie, who is 6 years old. She is a very smart and straightforward little girl. People are often surprised over what comes out of her mouth. We do talk about filtering, but as she's 6, she's not always best at it. I admit I didn't use a lot of baby talk when she was younger, and do speak to her as I would an adult. Katie has a babysitter, Lauren, who watches her some afternoons if I'm not off by the time Katie is done with school. One night, I had to work late. Lauren's mom, Julie, stopped by at one point to drop something off. Now, I wasn't there, but by Lauren's own admission, her mom can be a lot. The following is a recount from Lauren, and Katie has confirmed it when I discussed it with her privately. Julie began gushing about how cute Katie is and began baby-talking her, using cutesy words, pronouncing things with W's, etc. Lauren was cooking dinner for herself and Katie. Julie turned to Katie and asked, "Are you ready for your nummies?" Katie got a weird look on her face and asked, "Why are you talking to me like that? Are you stupid or something?" Julie got offended and Lauren told Katie to apologize. Katie said no and told Lauren to stop talking like a baby. Julie left not long after. When Lauren relayed the story, I said maybe Katie shouldn't have been so candid, but Julie shouldn't have talked to her like an infant. Lauren said she just wants Katie to apologize to her mom. I said Julie should apologize to Katie for treating her like a baby. I did talk to Katie about being more polite. She seemed to be receptive. When I told my mom about the whole situation, she was appalled. She said Julie was probably just trying to be nice and didn't realize how mature Katie is. She said Katie should absolutely apologize. Am I the asshole? I'm a teacher who mostly teaches 6- to 7-year-olds. Nobody speaks to them like they're babies, not their parents or siblings or family members that visit school. Edit. In Australia, the baby talk thing isn't as common here as it was in the US when I was over there. I think it's really weird that Julie saw a 6-year-old and thought, I better speak to this child like they're a toddler. But I also think it's important that Katie learns the impact of her words on other people. Are you stupid? Isn't the right way to retaliate, but she's young and she's learning. I do believe she should apologize for calling Julie stupid, and that Julie should apologize for talking to Katie like she's a baby. Everyone sucks here. I agree about nobody talking to kids like that. I'm also wondering if the babysitter's mom is playing with a full deck. The little girl needs to learn that you can ask questions without making insults. She could have said, I'm 6 and not a baby. Why are you talking to me like this? Why are you talking like that? Is fine. Are you stupid or something? Crosses the line into rude and disrespectful. So, help your daughter craft an appropriate apology for saying that, in person or a note, and make sure she understands what tact is and how to speak respectfully to anyone she might come across. It'll make her life much easier if she knows how to be polite. I'm in the minority here, apparently, but calling someone stupid and then refusing to apologize for it is not a child being smart and straightforward. It's a child who is acting like a brat and who thinks she is the smartest person in the room. Edit. Pleased to see that I'm not in the minority anymore. The comments shaped up better than I expected. Everyone sucks here. Sure, it was not cool for Julie to all goo goo gaga, but the kid didn't need to call her stupid. You can't play both sides of the field. Expect people to talk to her like an adult, and to know, off an assumption that she's a straightforward talker, and then, in the same vein, let her get away with things like a baby. A normal kid should be taught not to call someone stupid in such a rude was unprovoked. Neither should a teenager nor adult. Cool and all that you taught her behind the scenes, but she should have apologized, and based on what you wrote, a post-apology doesn't seem in the cards. It's fine for your daughter to question why Julie is talking to her like that, and all she needed to say was don't do it. Please. But jumping straight to, are you dumb or something, is unnecessary and should have been corrected. I really don't see much wrong intent from Julie's side, except a careless mistake. If she'd pushed the matter further, then yeah, she would be an AH. Am I the asshole telling a guy, the street's there, you can go sleep in it, after they bitched about sharing a bed with me, and then made him sleep on the floor? My sister, 24 female, and I, 24 male, live together. We are pretty social people and run in the same friend group, so we normally have a lot of our friends at our house whenever we can. This particular night, we were having a girls' night. I'm one of them gays, so of course I'm invited to every girls' night. One of the girls, 24 female, ended up bringing her brother, 20 male, because she was going to be driving him somewhere in the morning. It works out, since instead of a dining room and living room, we have 2 living rooms at each end of the house, so we could have our privacy, and he can do his own thing. At the end of the night, we worked out the sleeping arrangements. We have a couch in each living room, so 2 of the girls claimed those like they usually do. 1 of the girls shared with my sister, and 1 was going to share with me. We got a blow-up mattress out for the brother. Apparently that wasn't good enough, since he has a bad back and wanted a bed instead. The girl sharing with me, being the sweetheart she is, offered up her spot in my bed, and she'd sleep on the mattress. He did not like that idea, and started bitching about how he's not going to share a bed with a gay guy. And what if he tries something? Oh, sweetie, you flatter yourself, definitely not my type. He suggested he share with my sister, and that was a big no from her, so he had more of a bitch about how bad his back is, and yada yada yada. Eventually, I just opened up the front door and said, "The street's there, you can go sleep in it instead." He ended up sleeping on the floor because I took the blow-up mattress away. Me and my sister personally think he was fishing to share a bed with her. I've gotten quite a bit of backlash from the girl whose brother it is and her friends, nothing from the other girls there. So am I the asshole? I can't share a bed with a gay guy in case he tries something. I can share a bed with the gender I'm attached to, and you can trust me to share a bed with then. So much this, he's mature enough to control himself around the gender he's attracted to, but OP isn't. GTFO with this. Oh, not the asshole. The people giving you flack weren't there. They don't get a vote on this. Not the asshole. You offered up your bed and everyone was willing to compromise. But the guy had to make it a big deal because he didn't want to sleep with a gay guy? He can go sleep on the streets then. His loss for not taking the blow-up mattress option. In my experience, people who make a big deal of it are insecure, about their masculinity or sexuality or something. The straightest and most secure guys I know would have hoped in the same bed with me without a second thought and they'd just see an opportunity to sleep in a bed. You did exactly what I would have done, except you let him sleep in your house in the end. So not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to look after my neighbor's kids in a medical emergency? I, female 26, live in a block of new build apartments. Everyone moved in a year ago, so we're all getting familiar with our neighbors. There's quite a few families on my landing, and we have a shared courtyard where the kids play in the summer, so we can get chatting while the kids are playing. We've done favors for each other in the past, like formula milk and normally kids stuff, mainly me giving it out to but I try not to get too friendly. I have 2 kids myself, a 2-year-old and 11-month-old. I'm currently solo parenting, as my husband's gone away for a few days to spend time with his family and friends. There's a mum group chat of the mums in the building who swap kids around and babysit each other's kids for a few hours, and they rotate. I'm just a silent watcher, Debush, and don't participate, and it's not something I'm comfortable with, and my kids can't even communicate properly. Last night around 3 a.m., I get a knock on the door. Me and my kids are fast asleep. I tried to ignore it, as 1, I'm home alone. 2, I wasn't expecting company. And 3, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Anyways, after they wouldn't stop, and my kids were starting to wake up, I look through the peephole and notice it's my neighbor. I open the door, and it's her and her boyfriend and 2 kids. She's 9 months pregnant, clearly in labor. They've got their hospital bags. They told me if I could take the kids till her sister gets here in an hour. I said I'm sorry, but no. I don't want to be liable if anything were to happen to her kids under my care, and I don't want to risk waking mine up. I feel like this is something you need to plan ahead and not start knocking on doors, hoping someone takes her kids in. I've already got my hands full with my 2. There's no way I'm having another 2 running around my house at 3 in the morning. They are 1 and 4, and I know they aren't just going to sit and watch TV quietly. They call me evil and rude, and the BF got onto me saying, what kind of mother watches another struggle? I feel like if my husband was around, he wouldn't speak to me like that. Am I the asshole? Edit. Seems like there's a lot of entitled people here, or parents who think it's normal to just relentlessly knock on a virtual stranger's door to dump their kids on them at 3 a.m. Edit 2. I think people are forgetting how 1-year-olds act. They're usually very attached to their carer, and I'm sure watching his parents leave him with me, a stranger, would have left him inconsolable. Waking up my 2 kids and having all 4 awake at 3 a.m. sounds nightmarish. Edit 3. I just spoke to the other neighbor who took them in, and she told me the sister didn't get there until 8 a.m. Also, the kids were awake the entire time and woke up her kids and trashed her house. Not the asshole. You weren't obligated to take them. What might have gotten you off easier? I'm sorry, but I can't right now. They might not have kept arguing. You could have had a sick kid or whatever. Out of curiosity, if you needed help suddenly, like a medical sickness, accident, and your husband was out of town, who would take your kids? My parents live a 10-minute drive away, and I have a cousin in the same building. If things were desperate, but I get it. Not everyone has family around. Also, the neighbor had her BF right there. He can take the kids for the hour and then join her. How would that not be the first choice? I'd much rather give birth alone, unlikely though in 1H, than leave my child with a virtual stranger with. Maybe she needed her partner to drive her to the hospital? Not the asshole. I feel like this is something you need to plan ahead and not start knocking on doors hoping someone takes her kids in. I've already got my hands full with my 2. There's no way I'm having another 2 running around my house at 3 in the morning. Agreed. You're on your own. There's a mum group chat of the mums in the building who swap kids around and babysit each other's kids for a few hours, and they rotate. They should have planned ahead with people in that group who are familiar with their kids. You're the asshole. She was in labor. It was an emergency. Her sister would be there in 1 hour. You couldn't keep someone's kids alive and unharmed, probably while they slept on your couch, for 1 freaking hour until help could arrive. It's one thing to be friendly, but not participate in the babysitting rounds. But it's another thing entirely to refuse help during a goddamned emergency. It's not like her emergency was getting unexpected tickets to a concert and the babysitting bailed at the last minute. She was in labor. Don't have any emergencies. Just don't, because I promise you, everyone in the building is going to hear about this, so don't expect any of them to ever pitch in when it's your turn to have an emergency. And you will have an emergency eventually. It's impossible not to, with 2 small children. Good luck to you, because you're going to need it. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the Books? I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.